are back again with another fun-filled episode on the Main Street Randyland YouTube channel. Lucky day, I'm over in a corner, in a corner at Randyland where there's things surrounding all about me, and it's like, you know, what is he going to talk about next? What drew me over were these wonderful signs, okay, with the greyhounds on it, and there's actually two of them here, and these were the backdrop of a race game that was a rollerball game in a trailer that was on Sportland Pier. Now, it wasn't on Sportland Pier too long, but it was there, and when the trailer became not really functionable with the awning lift, and it was going to cost a lot of money to fix it, they decided to do away with it, and I gutted the game out of it. I took the pieces and all the apparatuses, and they're around here somewhere, but this was the back wall, and it was kind of hand-painted, so I had to save that because that's old amusement park stuff that you always hang on to that, especially when they're hand-painted. I mean, that's, you know, somebody's artwork with that. But, I mean, it's sitting there, and, you know, who else would know what it is but I? Because I'm the one who took it out. And as with all this stuff here, I might not remember where I put it, but I know I got it somewheres. And sometimes I surprise myself and I didn't even know I had it. Like over here, I found something I was looking for the other day. I guess it's a pruner, right, to cut tree branches. And somehow or another, it's got notches in it. How did it get notches in there? Well, I guess somebody cut something that was too thick with it, and they broke it. Now, wait a minute. It's a Craftsman. Now, Craftsman's supposed to have a lifetime guarantee on all their hand tools. Yet, here we have two notches that cut into the Craftsman. How could that be? Well, we'll have to take it back to Sears or Kmart right away and see if they will honor our warranty. Sears is out of business. Sears had bought Kmart. They're gone too. I guess I'm stuck. But at least we can talk about it and put it down. I set it here on top of my candy machine. It's a snack machine, but it's an old one, and I like old stuff, and I know you like old stuff. And this is not a cigarette machine. It's similar, but this is a candy machine. And what's interesting about this is that the old candy is still in there. You could have Blue Diamond walnuts, look at that. You could have some cheese crackers, some Planters peanuts, and look, it's even giving us a freebie. It's a Slim Jim, some beef jerky. How would you like to chaw on that for a while? That'll show you who's a real man. Indeed we will. Well, this was kind of given to me by a friend of mine up in North Jersey when I had bought something there, and I went up there and he gave it to me because he had two and he was trying to clear out a lot of his space, and he figured, well, what am I going to do with it? So he gave it to me. Well, what am I going to do with it? I don't know. I don't think he gave me the key because there's one of those tubular locks here in the corner. You see that? But I don't have my lock key on there, so I don't know what it is. And I was looking, that's how I found the beef jerky, to see if there was a key laying in it, but I don't see a key laying in it. And unless it's taped on the side that's not visible, or the back, somewhere I'll be drilling out a lock someday. But it's a neat machine, and there's no indication anymore of how much it was to vend. It says exact change, but it doesn't say how much change it wanted because it's all worn off. I love the mirror. Mirrors were great. This is a National, by the way. It was made by the National Vending Company. They made a lot of cigarette machines, and these handles are very, very common to the cigarette machines of that era. They have that tapered, almost like one of those cigarette lighters you'd have in your old car. That same type of look. And you would pull the handle, you see, to get the item that you want. So you'd look where the item is, and the item's there, you pull that handle. Now, I can't pull any of these handles right now because I didn't put any money in the machine. You see? And then, well, sometimes I think of the old movies you see from New York, and the guy down in the subway, and he'd go over to the candy machine, and he hasn't eaten all day, and he goes over to the old candy machine, he puts his money in the candy machine, and he goes to pull the handle, and of course it won't work. He's not going to get anything, and of course then he tries to get his money back, and it won't give him his money back, and then he's end up shaking the machine and breaking the machine and busts out the glass, and he grabs the candy, and he probably got one of those fresh beef jerkies or whatever. So it's the old story that if a coin gets stuck on a machine out in the field, chances are nobody's there to tell you the coin is stuck, and there's nobody to cry to, so you're kind of SOS. Did I say SOS? I'm sorry, it should have been SOL. This had 2 coin plates here. You see that? So we were trying to figure out, why would there be a coin plate on either side? Well, sometimes they had a vend on an upper level and a lower level, which would vend at different prices. So they would do that. This one didn't, because, how do I know? Because I know everything. Because this one has a plate behind there. You see that? That's blocking the coin hole and blocking the coin return. So this is really just blocking the hole that will be cut into the machine by a standard die. On this side, of course, the coin hole goes right in, where you can put our coin going into the mechanism, and the coin return goes there. Where would the coin return come back out? There's no coin return hole. It would throw it down here into the bottom of the tray where you get your candy if you got your coins back again. So you put your coins in. Probably was 15 cents or 20 cents, could have been up to 35. Back in those days, it wasn't a lot of money to get candy. I probably could not even use this machine today, because you cannot go to the store and buy a bar of candy for less than $1 wholesale. So what are you going to vend it for? $1.75? How am I going to get this machine to take $1.75? Well, sometimes they came out with kits that would mount to the side of the machine, which would have an updated method of calculating money. Sometimes they have dollar bill acceptors, and it would release the latch to allow you to pull your candy out using a solenoid that was being driven by the solid state coin driver. We're obviously not doing that on this machine. We'll keep it as original as we can, clean off the dirt, be able to see ourselves in the mirror, and we'll put some real beef jerky in there someday. And of course, we won't be able to sell it to you because you can't put enough money in there to pay for the product. But it's a nice conversation piece, and everyone should have at least one candy vendor in their own home, in their own game room. Then you can fill it with your candy, and your kids can come over and buy the candy that you stocked in there for less money than you paid for it. See? That's called having fun. You could be in the amusement business before you know it. So with that, we're going to leave you on the snack machine. Yes, of course, I have other snack machines. I have one that was my first one. It was a Do Greener. And that was the company that made it, Do Greener. And it sold cigarettes and lifesavers on the top. So it was a different price for vending. That's why there were 2 coin things. So that one was working. So you put in the dime for your lifesavers on this side. You had like 4 or 5 selections, and you put in your other amount to get your candy down there, or your cigarettes in that version, because that was a cigarette lifesaver machine. Had the mirror on the top and nice old. And I got that from an old coffee shop that was in Short Hills, New Jersey, and they were going to tear it down. They went out of business. They were going to knock down the building and build something else. They built an office building or something like there on Morris Turnpike. And I was like, oh, Dad, come on. We got to see if he'll sell the candy machine. And of course, he ended up selling the candy machine, and it ended up in my basement. And of course, I had my candy. Then Dad had to go buy candy so I could put it into my candy cigarette machine. And I don't smoke, but we had to buy packs of cigarettes to put into the cigarette machine so that you could pretend and vend yourself some cigarettes, you see? And where was I going to get packs of cigarettes? We got them from Lucky, Anthony Carrozza, down in Seaside, because we were playing Fascination in those years. I was still a player. And right outside on Webster Avenue, in the front of Fascination, was Lucky's cigarette wheel and Lucky's candy wheel. So we bought a couple boxes of different flavored lifesavers. So I had them to fill in, and we got, several varieties of cigarettes to load the machine. Had to have at least 2, because you can't pull the handle unless there's a product in there. So you put 2 packs in each one, so you got 1 to go and then another one to show. And there you have it, the story of snack machines, cigarette machines, and my life in the fascination of amusements at the Jersey Shore. Started as a little kid. So with that, we'll leave it, and I'm still going to try to find a Sears store to get my money back or a replacement on this Craftsman tool, because it was a lifetime guarantee. We'll see you next time. The Main Street Randyland YouTube channel. Bye, guys. You want some beef jerky?